The Weekly Warp Pipe.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Weekly Warp Pipe, a podcast dedicated to retro video games, 80s and 90s toys, and all things nostalgia. This week, we're going to be jumping in the Warp Pipe and going back and taking a look at our top NES box titles. So much awesome box art. We're going to narrow it down. Me and Jay pick different ones, and it's going to be a good time. No intro. We dropped the podcast network, so we're just no ads on the episodes anymore. So hopefully you guys enjoy that, and we'll get straight into the box art stuff.
We'll just jump right on into it.
I got a whole bag of games here that I put a bunch of NES games in. We'll pull them out in no particular order and get into which ones we like and why we like them.
Got it in your Total Wine bag, I see.
I don't know. I just grab whatever bag. Total Wine. That's funny. All right, let's see. What do we got?
What you got first, Russ?
Out of that case here.
You know we're going to be the same on a few of these, right?
I know we're going to have the same on a few of them. So that's why I figured if we both did 10, it's not going to be 20. It's probably
That's right.
15. So we'll go with, boom, we got the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cover right there.
I almost chose that game. I really like that cover. When I was a child, I had a problem with that cover, and I think you know what that problem is.
Probably because they're all in red bandanas.
That bothered me so much because my knowledge of that show was only from the cartoon and the toys. I had no idea it had like a pre-existing comic where I guess that they all were red initially.
Right, yeah. Well, I think quote me if I'm wrong, I don't know. I think the original comic was almost like black and white, and they just had like red on there. But they, when they're making it for, I guess, kids and all that, they said it's going to be easy to identify who's who if they had different colors. But This is the same Kevin Eastman comic book did this here. I should have picked two. I do have two over there, and it's actually signed by Steve Levine, who did the cover art for that. But I mean, it's the classic Turtles one here for sure. They, they're all striking a pose and looking pretty awesome.
They look so cool, right? Like everybody's holding their weapon up, and it just they all look like threatening. You know what I mean? And it almost looks a little futuristic, like a little spacey. Like everything is shiny and gleaming. I don't know. It's even though it's odd to see with all the red, I still really like that.
Yeah, art. It's a good one. I'd say so for sure. In a game you've learned to love.
Yeah, that's absolutely the truth. Because as a child, quick story, my sister got it for me. Christmas of we're gonna guess and say 91. I kept it for about 24 hours. The next day, I was like, Robin, can I take this back? It's too hard. And I went and got rollerblades instead.
The game rollerblades or actual rollerblades?
Actual rollerblades.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm happy about because those were the first rollerblades I played street hockey with, which is a huge part of my life. But I wish, like, why didn't I get Contra or like Punch Out or Castlevania or something else? Like, why did I totally switch lanes? I don't know. I think I got it from Sears, and Sears had the rollerblades on display.
Gotcha.
And I was like, whoa, those are cool.
Fair enough.
All right, ready?
What do you got?
We're going at complete random here. I remember seeing this game on a shelf. So it was actually the cartridge, not the box art, but it's the same box art at a random game shop in Kentucky. And I thought that looks interesting. And that game is totally rad.
Nice.
It's just like the cool 80s colors. Kind of that font for
almost
rad.
90s, I would say too.
Yeah, so yeah. Sorry,
late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, let's say 90s. It almost as saves by the Bell-esque like font. You know, like it's got waves in the D and some kind of little like marks in the R, which are hard to see because they're blue, and then the purple and the A.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But this little dinosaur guy peeking out of the cover, he has like a mohawk. He's got
nails.
Purple eyes and sharp pink nails, and he's green skin. Like, what is he? Why is he totally rad? It just I don't know. It
And
makes you want to play
it's
it.
like bordered in a neon yellow that just jumps out at you.
Yeah, the yellow pops. It's just a neat cover. I think it would make me want to play it. So totally rad.
Yeah, I picked up the game and played it. I mean, if you saw that at the rental store, that'd probably be something you would definitely go for as a kid. Then they knew their market, who they were targeting, and hopefully it worked.
Plus the name. I mean, who wasn't saying rad back then?
Right, right. All right, let's see if I grab a rad game into
Oh, I'm
my
sure.
bin.
I'm sure it will be rad.
I guess I'll look at it first and then that. Okay. So,
Okay.
okay, this one here. I didn't want to pick all the like top tier like ones everyone is going to pick. We are going to get to our viewer comments as well and see what you guys chose. But I wanted to have a couple in here that maybe you wouldn't have thought of.
Throw you
This
for a
one,
loop.
right? This one I played a ton as a kid, rented it, and I just thought the box art was fun, super fun. Stinger.
Yeah, I like Stinger.
So it's a Konami game, so you got that silver background, but then it has these spaceships with like boxing gloves on it.
That part is always stuck out to me.
You're like, what is this? Like boxing gloves on spaceships, and then what are these? They're like coat hangers in the background as like enemies. So it just shows how like goofy and fun this game like is there.
The other thing that I really notice is it has like a blue, a red, and a green ship in the front.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
it's like,
and like super neonish colors
yeah, so
on there.
that's pretty neat.
I will say, what is up with this? There are two Nintendo like stickers on it.
That I just literally noticed. Like, what is that yellow sticker? And does mine have it? I gotta know.
So it has the Nintendo seal of quality on it, but then below that it says licensed by Nintendo for play on the Nintendo Entertainment System in yellow. And it like stands out and it's like, what? Yeah, yours has it too. It's like they were doubling down.
Yeah, yeah. The other cool thing about this particular art, I think that is neat, is
Mhm.
the word stinger also almost looks like a neon sign.
Yes, yeah, that neon sign is there stands out in a fun font.
Yeah, but
Stinger. And so this was also known as Twin B in Japan. If you played that series, same series.
Twin B. That's
Sweet.
cool. Good pick. All right, we're gonna bust it up with another fun cover. Capcom's Little Nemo the Dream Master. So you
Nice,
got
nice.
little Nemo there. He's in his bed. His bed is like bending its like leg, almost like it's
Almost like
walking.
walking. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like walking. There's a really creepy tree in the background with big green eyes and a gaping mouth, like where like a hole in the tree would be. There's a couple flying alligators, which almost give me like the Peter Pan kind of vibes.
Yes, yes.
And then there's like a looming moon over it, and then down on the ground there's like mushrooms and other stuff going on, like in a little city. And there's like this cat clinging to the back of the bed. But yeah, it's like you can definitely tell that this kid is dreaming about some crazy stuff, and you don't know what you're about to experience on this adventure.
That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on the box art there, but it's all part of the gameplay. And there are, if you guys don't know, there are two games coming out, I believe, this year of Little Nemo.
Oh wow.
I guess the license has gone up into like public domain or whatever, and two different style games too are coming out. Nothing, either of them do not look like the NES game, so it's not like a sequel to that, but they do look pretty fun.
Well, I'll be the judge of that, Russ.
Okay, but sick box art, yes. What else we got? Sticking to the bag of goodies. We'll go with this one here. Okay, this is a classic one. I figured I had to pick this, and it has a fun backstory. It's in a dust sleeve. I'm trying to pull it out.
I wonder if we have a match here.
Ugh, ugh. Okay, here we go. Classic game, and that is the original Metal Gear
Oh
on
yeah.
NES. Now, if you guys don't know, we'll explain it again, but this is basically an exact copy of Kyle Reese from Terminator. There's like a freeze frame that someone had used, I guess, to help sketch this. into maybe like if people like Terminator, they're like, oh, that looks familiar, and they maybe caught this and we're like, okay, that's a military guy, and it does have the Metal Gear very small on the bottom over here too.
Yeah, that's wild. That's crazy. So amazing that they got away with such a blatant ripoff.
Right, right. I do like how it's divided up too. They have this like black line where
Hmm.
Metal Gear is on the side there, so the full box art is in a picture.
Yeah,
And they
that's cool.
decided that because usually all the titles, go straight across the top, and they
Yeah,
decided let's go kind of down the side as like a stylistic choice, and I
I
think it
think it
looks sweet.
worked. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't get anywhere in this game, but
I'm not good at it either. So
but classic cover definitely.
classic cover. I agree. All right. So, uh, you know me, I like bright colors. I always thought this was very poppy, and we're gonna go with Batman: The Return of the Joker, and kind of similar to the Metal Gear here. You see Batman going up the side in like this yellow box,
Hmm.
and then you got the Joker with his big creepy smile, and he has bat eyes, which is a little weird, right? Like,
Right. I don't know why they chose. I guess he has vengeance and Batman on the mind.
and
So
see, that's kind of what I thought. I didn't think it was like some weird contact. It's more like he can't see anything except the bat,
yeah,
and it shows his like classic green hair. His face is really white. It just, I mean, you see this on the shelf at the store, and you're like, well, we got to get that. We got to see what this Joker's up to.
I do like that it shows him almost like he's like coming around the corner of the box art itself.
Yeah,
Like
he's like
his
popping out of it.
his fingers are where like the yellow is, almost like maybe he's coming out of the comic book or whatever, like that it was inspired by.
He's coming out of the game and into your house. You better get ready, Batman.
That's it.
But yeah,
Super
I just thought
classic.
that was like a really cool cover, like in that yellow, boom, you know.
Boom pops. Yeah, for sure. All right, what do we got? All right, this is a good one. Got another Konami title.
Hoo-hoo.
Konami definitely had tons of bangers, and this is a fun franchise. And I chose Monsters in My Pocket.
Yeah, that's a great one. I like that one a lot too. It's got the jeans ripped there, you know.
Right, they're coming right out of like the butt pocket of the jean. I want to say, is it a butt? You think you can see the loops on the top here of the
That's
jeans,
got to be a back pocket. They ain't. I've never seen a front pocket shaped like that.
right? But you got all the the monsters jumping out of there, different colors. Green, orange, red. There's like a glowing skeleton. Super cool, and just makes me think of how small they are if they're coming out of the pants like that. You're like,
Right.
okay. I mean, I guess
Yep.
it could have been a shirt pocket. They chose the butt though.
Yeah, they chose the
Jeans.
butt, the gluteus maximus with
Like Gluteus
monsters
Maximus.
inside.
For sure. Super cool.
Very cool. You know, I love that. Love that. Almost chose that myself. All right,
I'm
Russ.
waiting to get a match. We haven't matched yet.
This might match here. You ready? If nothing else, it'll at least match your shirt. So I got Ninja Gaiden, baby. Look at
Oh
that.
yeah. Look at that.
Look at Ryu Hayabusa, man. Look at those muscles. That's what I aim to have
Freaking
someday. Muscles on top of muscles on top of more muscles.
right. There's made up muscles on there.
Dude, he just looks like he's ready to kick everybody's butt. And he's
Mhm.
got like a sword. He's got the dragon sword in one hand, like another little sword in the other hand, and he's like the city is burning behind him, and he doesn't even care because he knows he's Ryu Hayabusa and he can take out anybody. But classic Tecmo game, and it says the fight of your life in the bottom corner. Uh, and it says a strategic encounter. You better believe it's strategic. That's the only way to get through this game.
Memorization.
Memorization encounter, but it says the biggest arcade hit down there at the bottom.
Mhm.
But yeah, you see that on the shelf and you're like, it's 1989, 1990. We want some ninjas, and this is the game to play.
I do like that it has like the characters too, where Gaiden's under it and they have like I don't know if they're Japanese or what ninja characters or whatever you want to call them.
Right. Probably it's probably Japanese letters, I would imagine. But
Yeah,
it looks so sick. I
definitely,
don't
definitely a good time.
I wish I knew what Gaiden meant.
Gaiden or Gaiden, how do you guys say it?
Ninja Gaiden. Hey.
I I chose
Oh,
Ninja Gaiden 2. I wanted to choose one, but I was like, well, it's got the buildings and stuff on fire. I thought with two, he's sitting there and there's this freaking huge dragon in the background, almost basically reminding me of like Shenron from Dragon Ball Z, whenever he
yeah.
takes up the whole sky and he almost has like a Dragon Ball like in his hand or something like that. But you also do see the city skyline there
Yeah,
as well.
and
Still,
very cool. The twin towers are actually in that
oh
image.
yeah, how about that?
So that's really cool, for us Americans anyway.
Yeah, and again, Ryu Hayabusa there with his super jacked arm.
Dude, his arm is gnarly.
What does it say? And then it's written. What is it on there? This game is licensed by Nintendo for play on the Nintendo.
The other thing I like about that is that purple skyline. It's like, almost going from dusk to dawn there. And like that just looks really cool.
And is this the water too? I think that's probably the water.
That
And
definitely looks like water. I don't know if
yeah, so it
he's
has
like
good contrast on there.
I don't know if Ryu's like sliding across the water on his knees. How is he doing that? I don't know.
Right, right. Staying afloat on the on the water. I don't know, but looks super cool.
Absolutely. Well, hey, you know what? We got the best of both worlds there because I picked one and you picked two, and that was unplanned. All right. So we got to jump to one of my most favorite franchises, and we're going to start with this one because this is a very cool box art. Simon's Quest. Now,
Nice.
I don't know what you call this kind of design at the top here that the
Hmm.
word is in. It's
Um.
what you call
Yeah.
like
Well,
a crest. I don't
like a
exactly
crest.
know.
Yeah, it's hard to describe. Basically, something surrounding the word, like a plaque. Maybe plaque. It might be the.
Maybe like it almost looks like a banner or something, but it just
Mhm.
I love the green coloring. And then the other thing, and I pointed this out to Russ several months ago in a Castlevania podcast, and I don't think even the guy who was doing the podcast realized it. Maybe he did, I can't remember. But this whip makes the two for Castlevania 2, which I
Mind
always
blown.
found to be super clever. Um,
Yes.
and then um, I love how Dracula's in the background, like looking down on Simon. And I kind of like the take on Simon here. He's got the blonde hair, the cool brown armor, and he just looks freaking sick. I don't know what these lines on the side are, how it almost breaks the picture. Um,
I want to say, I think maybe they're trying to make it like a movie reel, like still.
maybe
That's the
whatever.
only thing I get out of it, like how it's split and you see some of the picture and don't, almost like movie film.
Right. Whatever it is, I think it's cool. Even the little red banner down here on the side where it has the Nintendo stuff and then the classic Konami top. I don't know. And the silver box, I just love it. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, absolutely good choice on that. Like all three of them definitely have fantastic box art
They do.
to check out. And yeah, it just has that same vibe. So it's good that they kept everything similar.
They're very kind of like the Ninja Gaiden trilogy. They all kind of build off each other.
What do I got? I'll do one more here and then we'll see what you guys said. I
Yes.
want to pick this one here. I feel like no one would end up picking this. Um, but for a puzzle game, I think this is freaking awesome for a cover, and that's Tetris.
Yeah. I
Like
like
it gets you excited to play this puzzle game for some reason. Like the colors that they use, like they're falling from the sky, the simple Tetris name across the top there. And you see all these bricks falling, and I love how it has a little triangle from Russia with fun.
that's amazing. And they sent us a little more fun recently.
But hey, there's a Tetris movie coming out.
That's gonna be interesting. Oh, but it's more like on the development of it, right?
It's almost like watching a gaming historian extended cut, I would
There you
say.
go.
Yeah. But Tetris, yeah, they're like blue colors and then all the bright colors that they chose for the bricks and everything pops. Like for a puzzle game, they definitely went
They
all out
nailed it.
for it.
They nailed
Yeah,
it. I agree.
definitely cool.
Looks way cooler than Clax.
That is true. They missed the ball in clacks. All right, let's see what you guys had to say.
What did you say? What did you say?
Springfield, let's hear from you.
All right, so we reached out to you guys on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. I think we got one response on Facebook, so we'll jump over to there, and that is from Matthew Durkin. It's pretty tough to narrow it down to just a few, but I think these might be among my favorites. Each one pops out and will draw your attention if you were looking at a wall full of games. The classic series Yellow Metroid might be my favorite of all NES games. So he gave us a pick here. So the Metroid one with the yellow box, Samus front and center, looking awesome.
Matthew, I almost picked this.
You chose Ninja Gaiden 2. So we agreed on that. Shattered Hand is a good one. It's got that 80s like sunglasses going on, and he's punching literally the title, and you can see
I love that.
Knuckles that it's metal. He got Double Dragon 2.
I think that Double Dragon 2 is really cool because in the commercial for Double Dragon 2, that's the last thing you see is he like whips down and then it
Mhm.
freeze frames to the end
Nice.
of the end of the video. It's really cool.
Yeah. And then Battletoads Double Dragon.
That looks cool.
That's a sweet one. It's got, both logos, one toad, one of the dragons on there fighting one each of the baddies. And then Gyrus.
I would
This
say
is a
Gyrus
shooter.
looks pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, you're in space and the spaceship looks super detailed.
Yeah.
And like, I don't even know what's going on here. There's like planets and fireballs.
It's almost Atari-esque, wouldn't you say?
Right. Like a lot of those early Atari games that were like space based. I can definitely see that. That could be an episode too, like Atari box art, how they
Yeah.
had to go crazy with it. And then it's like the graphics are like super done down.
That we definitely have to do that. So have you played Gyrus, Russ?
I can't remember if I did or not.
So the kind of the spiel of the game is the plane kind of goes in like a clockwise and counterclockwise position to
Oh,
shoot
I
the
see.
enemies. So if
Okay.
you look at that box art, you can see those planets kind of spiraling, and that's kind of
Yes. Oh,
the
okay.
idea.
Yeah, where it's coming.
Hmm.
Nice. All right,
Yep.
let's see. We got YouTube. Let's hop over to there. Or no, was it YouTube? Yeah, YouTube was a bunch of people gave us comments on here. We had 13 comments.
Cool.
So if you guys don't know, on YouTube, there's a community page that you can visit. So if you go to the weekly award pipe, the community tab is where we're posting this stuff here. We do polls and fun stuff like this. So we ask some questions and you guys respond it. Bilbo Baggins, he was super excited. He DM messaged me on the Discord server and was like, "Oh my god, so excited for this episode."
Sick.
Anything by Tom Dubious. He did Castlevania 3, Bayou Billy, Roller Games, Super C, Pirates, Blades of Steel, Defender of the Crown, Silent Service, Top Gun Second Mission, Snake's Revenge, Monsters in My Pocket,
Yeah.
and a few more Konami Ultra releases. He is an absolute legend. My favorite of his on NES has to be Super C and Dracula's Curse.
Dude, both are absolutely incredible. I wish I had box copies of both.
Yeah, for sure. Like he's certainly been busy and did tons of box art. So shout out to Tom. Mike is a pipe bomb says probably Monster Party or even Friday the 13th one too. I believe the pick is from part 7, the actual movie franchise. Zombie Nation had a cool looking one as well. That was a wild box art. I'll have to try to pull that up. Also, an honorable mention goes to any game cover with a duo, such as Contra or Bad Dudes.
Yeah.
I guess the more action stars on the box, the better. Pure Profit said, I was a big comic book fan growing up, so my favorites were Silver Surfer, Wolverine, and Spider-Man Return of the Sinister Six.
Good choices.
Yeah, I mean they're basically just pulling from almost like how Turtles did. where
Right.
they had like a cover on there. I could distinctly remember the Wolverine one because it was like a yellow orangish cover, and Wolverine's just like jumping with his claws, like it's
Yeah,
pretty
and
awesome.
Sinister Six has like multiple characters on it.
Right. Tony Sedini says my favorite is Contra because of the Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sly Stallone inspired characters. Also TMNT because that is the cover of the original comic series. Yep,
There you go.
about that. And again, how we talked about Metal Gear having that still of Kyle Reese from Terminator. They obviously drew inspiration on Contra from Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger being top action stars at the time. M&J Games. It's hard to pick a favorite, but I'll pick 3 that stood out to me since I was a kid, which are Vice Project Doom, Double Dragon 2, and Paperboy. Interesting choice on Paperboy.
I would say the same.
It's got that like blue background with him on a bike, and he's got that like mean mug going on. Good old Paperboy. All right, what else we got? We got Parasite Steve from the Retro Redoctopus podcast. Shout out to them. Anything Castlevania, of course, or the Capcom Disney games, which were always incredible. Also, got to give it up for Gargoyle's Quest 2 and The Lone Ranger.
I agree. All cool.
All great games. Custom NES guy also says Castlevania 2. So he's right there with you, Jay.
Yeah.
Just because it's amazing. And it's also the first Nintendo game I ever played besides Mario 1.
Nice.
That's interesting as a first one to go in because it's such adventure based and so many like secrets and stuff. So I wonder if you got frustrated as a kid playing it or if you figured it out. Maybe you figured it out. He had Nintendo power. Eric Plunk, shout out to Totally Rad's 90 aesthetic. Nice. Yep. See, we already brought that down. Jay was all set with it. Totally rad. Totally awesome. Rytendo says the first Mega Man because how off it is.
I mean, that's true.
I didn't know. I don't think I chose any of the Mega Man games, but I was unsure like if people would be upset like with Mega Man 1 and 2. We're like, okay, you know, we're talking about like the best box art for NES, which what we think is, would people think like, why are they choosing Mega Man 1? It's so like it's so bad it's good type thing almost.
Yeah, I think so.
Now I did meet the artist who did the box art for Mega Man 2, Mark Erickson, and we spoke to him at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and he explained to us like it was very short deadline and they didn't give him much to go on. So he didn't know that Mega Man didn't use a gun. So that's why he drew a gun in it.
You know, sometimes even wrong things become right.
True.
So, whatever that means. That might not be true, but it sounded good at the moment.
Sounded good. Stephen Daly says Dragon Warrior.
Those are pretty detailed.
That's a good one. Big dragon on it. Bright box art. Like I think it's like again that like yellow orange color. Stevie's Man Cave Arcade.
So that 5 times fast.
He gave us a top 5. Here are my top 5. Super Mario Brothers 3, TMNT the arcade game, WWF WrestleMania, Battletoads, and Legend of Zelda. And then Craig Phillips closing us out says the Castlevania series.
To which I agreed.
To which Jay says, I'm with you. Sweet. Well, we definitely have a couple more. Since there are no ads in the show anymore, we thought we had a new segment. Let us know if you guys like it. We thought we'd grab a Nintendo Power issue each week. I'm going to try to get the ones that are of that month. I just happened to grab this one here. It does have Ninja Gaiden on it. This is March/April 1989. Maybe we give you some tips and tricks out of it. Something cool. I don't know.
Yeah. What you got, Russ?
They were saying Or we could also explain like the top games of that year, right? Didn't they do like what was selling? If I could find it.
Well, guess what? It's the Power Minute. We can do whatever we want because it's our minute.
Top 30. Here we go. Top 30 NES games. We'll just break down a few on here. So we had number 1 was Super Mario Brothers 2. Coming in at 2 was Zelda 2. And how about that? Number 3 was the original Zelda right there. So Zelda taking the 1 and 2 spot. And rounded off, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was number 4 and Contra was number 5. These were the top 30 of 1989 back in the day. Let's see if we could find some tips and tricks. We got the classified. You guys remember this? The classified section.
That's it.
Classified information. We'll pick a game. We got a few in here.
Pick a good one.
Well, they got Double Dragon in here. We can see what tips and tricks they have for Double Dragon. From Agent 207. And I wonder if those are people that are written in. They give them certain numbers. I don't know. It's titled Strange Weaponry. This trick requires incredible timing, but the results are worth it. This way, you'll have weapons to take on Wily. In Mission 4, drop kick the Shinteus and leave the knife where it falls. After you defeated them, wait until the last Shinchea blinks for the 4th time and pick up the weapon. It will transform into something like a golf club. Use this weapon against the Linda, but near the end of the battle, let one knock it out of your hand. Defeat the enemies, and when the last one blinks for the 4th time, pick up the weapon again. This time, it will look different. It says grab the weapon when the last enemy blinks for the 4th time or result into a strange transformation. Now, they did put screenshots on here, but I doubt there's any way you guys could be able to like focus. It's almost like if they took a picture of the screenshot, but essentially that's what they're talking about.
That sounds extremely complicated. And how in the heck did anybody figure that out?
I don't know. You have to wait till they blink to it. The only thing I remember in Double Dragon was if you in the first stage where you cross the fence.
Oh yeah,
if you grab the baseball bat and then go back to a
you can
certain
basically
point.
level up
Yes.
without having to kill anybody.
Yeah. What happened to my? Oh, I folded it inside. Like, what happened to the issue with the Nintendo Power? What does it say in the beginning here? Oh, look at this ad. This is great.
Dude, that dude's surfing some games. Tidal wave.
Gotta love the ads on these here. March, April, 1989. I don't know. Yeah, I thought it'd be something fun. We could kind of flush this out on what segment's going to work. Maybe you guys can let us know what you want to hear.
Yeah, leave in the comments below what do you want for the Power Minute.
The Power Minute.
The Power Minute.
All right, we're back to round up. Who left off? You showed the last one?
I showed Simon's Quest. What's the last one you showed?
Tetris.
I think it was you.
Okay.
So we'll jump to me, and we're going hard for this one. This is the super classic Mario 3. Now I have a really rough copy, and there's even something on Mario's eye. It looks like whiteout. However, one thing I've noticed with the Batman, what's it called? The Return of Joker?
Return of Joker.
With Totally Rad. With there was one more. It's losing me. But I feel like yellow backgrounds really get your attention. Mm-hmm. But I think what's so cool about Mario 3 is it's so basic with just the yellow.
Yeah.
All you really need to see is Mario with his hands spread out, those little raccoon ears in that tail, and he's flying, and you are ready for a good time. That's all you know is that whatever he's rocking in this picture, you want to see what it's all about.
Right. They kept it simple with they're showing you Mario, but with a power up you haven't seen before. So this already lets you know it's a new game. And then they just have the title huge right there, Super Mario Bros. 3.
Yep, and
And
this is
you have a Right Bros copy.
this is not Deborah here. Now, if you watch my retro life, you will see Tyler with a copy because I guess they got it pretty early on, and it is Left Bros. So they were buying games as soon as they dropped, apparently.
I will say I had a few Mario games put aside, but I didn't bring it just because it'd be too obvious. I think to
Well,
have
Mario
a Super
3
Mario on there.
is a super special game that on my top 20 NES list got rated number 11, and I got so much hate for that. I recently
Jeez.
played it and beat it. I think it would make top 10 for sure now.
Fair enough. All right, here's one off of left field I thought would be great to include on here, and that is Iron Sword, Wizards and Warriors 2. With Fabio on the
Fabio.
freaking cover.
Fabio.
Fabio. This is awesome. I think this is great that they took basically, if you don't know, Fabio is like a male model of the time. I don't know if he did like perfume commercials or like what he modeled really.
I
I
don't
just knew
know
he was
either.
big at the time.
No pun intended.
And so he's a muscular guy, so they just have him posing on there with the sword, and there's like mountains in the background and the sky's like lighting up with fire.
Looks like the heavens are coming down and the volcanoes are erupting all at the same time, and there Fabio is with his lightsaber of power. He looks like He-Man.
Definitely has He-Man or like Conan the Barbarian.
Both.
On there. So that's what they're going with there. But
Iron Sword.
thought it was pretty cool that he's on there because it does show on the back. You could almost zoom in, and there's the first one.
Oh yeah,
where it's more drawn like a comic or whatever, and they write realistic with this approach.
Yep, there he is. Pretty cool cover, pretty iconic.
Yeah.
Iron Sword. All right, you guys are gonna get to see the next one on my list. One of my favorite shooters. Not great at it, but I can beat it with a 30 life code. Life Force.
Nice.
I think I'm just a fan of that classic Konami Silver, but
Konami's taken over this.
But I love the salamander, which is what the game's called in Japan, on the front. He just looks so rad. He almost looks more like a serpent or a snake.
That's what I thought it was, like a dragon or a snake.
Yeah, but he just looks freaking sick, and almost has that Atari feel to it as well. But you see the fire behind him from the Konami fire, and I even like how the Life Force has like this fireball going through it. But yeah, it just looks. You can just tell you're about to have a great time in a space shooter, and I love it.
Nice, yeah, good choice for sure. What do we got? Well, it is certainly time to get dangerous. Dude, we got Darkwing Duck.
I almost picked that and DuckTales because of the amazing cartoon art.
Yeah, like this is straight out of the cartoon. If you watch the cartoon series, it's got Darkwing Duck right there with Launchpad, and they're on a motorcycle with a big full moon. You can see him going over the bridge. Purple fits perfect because it's Capcom and
beautiful
Duck's colors. I have some like writing. It must have been a rental title on my copy. That's why there's magic marker on it, but definitely classic. Like you said, a lot of people said the Disney games and the Capcom games box art all look great. This could be a great t-shirt too.
Great fun game as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. It basically plays like Mega Man.
Capcom didn't miss very much, if ever. All right, guys, you're going to have to forgive me because it is the Konami show. And for all of those out there who said they liked Contra, here you go. There's your Schwarzenegger, your Stallone, and your Alien all combined together to make Contra.
And you know what? Now this brings back when you were showing Castlevania, and I was like, oh, those lines, maybe it's movie reels. But it was on Life Force and it's on Contra. So it's just whatever aesthetic like they like to have those lines going in.
It looks so rad though. Like they just didn't do wrong doing it. But yeah, Contra is classic. I mean, if you cover them up, that looks like Alien, right?
Right. Yeah,
And
the
then
alien
and then
itself.
there's Rambo, and then there is Predator. You know,
Right.
it's like, how do you lose? You don't. You only win.
You only win. All right. Might as well stay on the train of picking similar titles.
Oh, I already see this. I already see it. I know what it is.
Konami coming up. Got the gray box. Dun dun. We always talk about this game, Jackal.
I just beat that the other day twice.
In the same stream.
No, I beat it at Andy's house on YouTube one night, and the next night on TikTok.
Nice, nice. So again with so Konami does it too.
That's the
Yeah,
same thing.
same thing. Yeah, same with the lines here. So you got a Jeep that's like burning up some dust going across the desert, and you got a guy with like huge guns shooting, a helicopter in the background, and your other Jeep, because you're playing two Jeeps, two-player action.
If you haven't played Jackal and you have NES, like, go get it. It's not that expensive. It's incredible. This box art's amazing. It's a can't miss.
Again with those like 80s action vibes, like just in the war games. Definitely looks awesome.
I love how they highlight the name with like the almost military colors, like and then Jackal's in yellow and red. That looks so dope.
Right, so it pops right off of that camouflage almost.
And it doesn't hurt that the game's A+.
Go check it out.
All right, last one, I promise. And then I have a surprise one for you.
Fair enough.
Castlevania. I know I cheated. I went 1 and 2. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Dude, look at this. Look at these greens. Like, look at these greens. There's like some rainbow colors over here. It goes red, yellow, green, blue. You have, Count Dracula looming in the top. There's, again, that classic Castlevania logo with the cool C. Almost looks like a money symbol through it. And once again, I don't know, like this banner style. I don't know what you would call that. It's got the classic Konami silver with the lines that we've talked about. There's Simon with his whip, and he is ready to go take on Count Dracula. And there's Castlevania right there, in the moonlight. It's just,
you see the castle. Yep.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. I love it. It's probably the coolest box art out there, in my opinion.
Definitely a good one. Yeah, for sure. It has that horror vibes, that old school like horror movie poster, you would almost say. Yeah, this would look great as a print t-shirt. Draws your eye.
That Simon, they must have used that particular model for Super Castlevania because it's exactly how he looks.
Oh, like that pose with like the whip back.
Just the outfit. I don't know. He just looks freaking sick. It doesn't hurt that it's my favorite game too.
Fair enough.
So, Russ, surprisingly, there has not been one match yet, but there's still time. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
I have 2 left. I think I might have picked 11 by accident, but this one's already been said, but it freaking stands out and it's so awesome. That is Monster Party.
That is an amazing cover, and I regret not picking it.
Purple background, webbing, and then a huge monster font where it says Monster Party in yellows and greens. And then you have all the awesome looking monsters on here. You have Creature from the Black Lagoon, Medusa, it looks like Dracula, the plant from Little Shop of the Horrors, but not really.
Yeah.
This guy with fangs, like so sick looking. I was so excited when I got this complete in box. I'm like, this is dope. Like
that box is sick.
Even the back, like it's a scream. Like such good design. Amazing. That just screams, and you're like, this is going to be a good time. Like you don't even know if it's going to be a good game, like or not, without like screenshots or anything. But looking at the box art, you're like, yes.
Bandai knocked it out of the park, and I will say that game is incredible. There's only one level that drives me absolutely insane.
Is it the sewer?
It is the maze level where you have to keep going in the doors, and it's not because it's a maze. I could deal with the maze, but it has the most annoying level music of all time. It's like Howling Wind or something, and you're in that level for so long because it's so hard to find the end. I've only found the end like once when I beat the game.
I don't know if I beat this one or not.
It's such a good game. It's so classic. So
Monster
good.
Party for sure.
All right, here's my last one and our last chance to make a match. A game that I never knew about as a kid. NES Complex turned me onto it. It's incredible. You can't jump, but you can swing. Bionic Commando.
Nice.
I apologize about the glare. I love how Lad is like in this like shining light, and there's bats and there's people shooting at him and robots and all kind of crazy stuff going on. But it's just a really cool picture. Capcom, knocked it out of the park, and it says a new breed of hero. But
all the arcade action,
right here in this card. But I had my wife review this on a video we did on my YouTube channel, the only one she's ever been in, and she was so funny. She was drinking wine, so she was a little bit tipsy, which is the only reason she got on camera. And I asked her to describe what was going on in this picture, like what the game was about based on the picture. And she said something about the man was saving the world from mutant bats or something. I can't remember what she said. And I said, Haley, you gave these two tiny little bats out of this whole picture the most importance. So, it was hilarious.
Totally ignored all like the robots and other guys shooting and stuff.
Something about bats.
Definitely a good box art, I would say, for sure. Well, so hey, we didn't have a match, so 20 different games. I went with for my last one here, Power Blade.
Very cool.
It's already mentioned before. Again with that, like 80s, like he's got those sunglasses on, this giant boomerang thing, so that's the Power Blade, and he's in a tank top. Looking a little bit Arnold Schwarzenegger-ish. Maybe
he looks very Schwarzenegger-ish.
Maybe Van Damme a little bit.
Look at those chest muscles. You can see the ripples in his muscles.
Right. And then you kind of get a little bit of the, background that's like a little space. And when you got like fire in the background of like some of the factories or something going on fire.
Yeah.
I thought it was definitely cool and stood out. Again, it's like between this and like Shatterhand are almost like very similar.
They're very, very reminiscent. Yep. Very cool cover. Love it.
Sweet.
Great game too.
Yeah, if you guys haven't played that one, definitely check that one out. And if you guys have any suggestions, you can give us a call, 949-682-9277. You can just say how we're doing it with the podcast, suggestions and topics. Just call to say hello, and you can text message as well.
Do it. What are you waiting for? Do it now. Leave us a message.
Or visit theweeklywarpipe.com. We have all our episodes there in merch. You can pick up Warpipe mugs, magnets, stickers, t-shirts, all the goods.
Yep.
Hey, I did get I got a quick shout out. I've been listening to the Mike Herrera podcast from MXPX.
Nice.
And he does New Music Mondays. And I did a submission, and he actually played my old band Saturday Matinee and did a little comment on them.
That's sick. What'd he say?
He was like, yeah, this is a classic pop punk song. And I showed him the music video that we did that was like quarantine style. And he's like, I love that you did a quarantine video. So I was like, sweet.
That's amazing.
It's like, thanks for checking us out.
That's so cool.
But yeah, it'd be awesome if you guys gave us a call as well. I left the number and all the descriptions and all our websites so you can find it easily. Just save it in your phone. So if something sparks your interest, you want to drop us a line.
Yeah. And if you don't call us, we're going to start calling you. What are you going to do then? We ring your phone off the hook. Do it. Call us now.
So new episodes every Wednesday and Saturday. Wednesday's the Warp Pipe Wednesday shorter episodes. If you want a little bit more of Russ and Jay in your week. If not, you can catch us every week on Saturday at 7 a.m.
Get your butt out of bed and listen to us.
That's it for this one, guys. As always, I'm Russ Lyman, and keep your world fun bit by bit.
Have a great week, guys.